So I'm walking out to a field in my backyard. It might be a little windy, but I wanted to talk about some things. There is a road right through these trees, so it might be a little busy, a little noisy, and if it is, I'm sorry.
It isn't spirit, that's also an idea. Reality is this.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for all the leaves to start getting back on the trees again, and for the warmer weather. I'm so freaking excited. Only thing that sucks about the weather getting warmer is there's hella ticks and bugs and stuff. The question is, do I go in the woods? Or do I not go in the woods? Oh my god, I just realized I've been talking for 5 to 10 minutes, and I wasn't recording. That's so silly. What the heck? I'm sitting on thorns and it hurts my butt. So in this video, I want to talk about the concepts of past lives and my experience with past lives, and how I came about the concept of past lives in general. And I just want to say, please keep an open mind. You don't have to believe anything I'm saying. You don't have to think it's real. This is just my experience and the things I've learned so far in this incarnation. So I'm gonna take it back to when I was about 18, 19 years old. I was a senior in high school, and this was back in 2016. I was extremely heartbroken over my first relationship. But with this person, it was for me at least, it was instant soul recognition when I first met them. And I just felt like I'd known this person forever. I had this deep love and deep respect for this person. And it was probably the deepest feeling I'd ever felt in my life. Now, I was really going through it with this breakup, with this separation. I was just so heartbroken and just so hurt, and I didn't understand why things were happening the way they were. I just wanted to move on. I just wanted to get over it. I wanted to make peace with it and just live my life and not have to feel this deep loss in my heart and in my chest. And I came across this book called Fallen. I think it's by Lauren Kate, if I'm not mistaken. I'll put the book right here somewhere. So I had come across this book, and at first I was I saw it on my bookshelf, and I was I don't know why, but I feel I have to read this. And I had this book since middle school, mind you. I was drawn to the cover back then, and for some reason I was I feel there's a message in this, I need to read it. And I started reading it, and I found out that it had to do with a couple that had many past lives together, and they had this strong connection, this strong bond, this strong soul recognition. But the book is also fiction, and it had to do with the fact that the guy, he was part of this group called the Watchers, and they were fallen angels because they fell from heaven because they fell in love with there's gnats. They fell from heaven because they fell in love with mortal women, and they got impregnated by them and had these babies called Nephilim, which are half angels, half humans. And so that's kind of based off of revelations when it has to do with the Bible. So that's where some of this mythology, I guess if you want to call it I don't even know, just inspiration of the story came from. So basically in the book, I will never forget, and I have it bookmarked, there's this whole page where he's telling the main character about all the past lives they've lived, about that she's not crazy, that the feelings that she's had about him are real, even though she felt crazy for being so drawn to him, even though she didn't really know him. And when I read that, it was like confirmation from the universe that what I was feeling was validated, even though I had no proof at the time, and I had no idea what the journey I was about to embark on with past lives. So one night I had this realization this weird, I guess if you want to call it vision. Like I said, please keep an open mind. This is just my experiences. So I was sitting there one night and I was crying, just thinking like, why is this happening? I don't understand why this is happening. It's not making any sense to me. I just want to be able to move on and not feel such an intense loss. Why am I still so drawn to this person when they've clearly moved on? Like, if they wanted to be here, they would. And like, I knew all these things and I realized all these things, but for some reason, my heart something wasn't clicking. And I was sitting there and all of a sudden this image flashed in my head, and it was angels sitting in the clouds and they were looking at me. And it was like, I understood everything they were saying to me without them saying anything at all. They were looking at me, and it's like, I felt like that was my home and I felt connected to them, but I knew that everything was gonna be okay, and I knew that everything was already all right. Even though from an ego standpoint, I didn't understand, and I want to rationalize things, and I want to understand things, and I want to like have those solid explanations. Sometimes in this life we just don't get them, and that's okay. So moving on, I forget exactly how it happened, but I was looking up past lives, and I came across an article that talked about a man named Brian L Weiss, or Weiss, I don't know how you properly pronounce his last name, but he is a psychiatrist. But one day he was doing hypnosis therapy with his patient, Catherine, and they were going back into her childhood to figure out why she had certain traumas, why she was so anxious and so depressed, why she couldn't move past certain things. And they went too far back, and she went into one of her past lives, and she recognized one of her past lives. And he was like, okay, everything I thought I knew, I don't, because he's very scientific and very like factual, and this was just bizarre for him. And in his book Many Lives, Many Masters, it has to do with Catherine's past life regressions and his, I guess you can call it, contact with the ascended masters, which are just highly intellectual beings that aren't on this plane, that you can they can channel themselves through you. They tend to give you answers to why you're here and what we're supposed to be learning while we're here on Earth. And so there's this other book called Miracles Happen by him, and it's about all of these people's different past life regressions and how you travel with souls throughout your life. And there are such thing as soulmates, and there's such thing as strong soul connections with people. Oh, Macy's coming. Hi, I'm making a video. You're fine. It is. My twin's coming. I just wanted to expand my knowledge a little bit more on past lives. So I came across this book recently. It's called Only Love is Real, and it's a story of soulmates reunited. And I was just like, why not? Why not read about it, just expand my knowledge more. And this book really has helped open my mind up a lot more about past lives and just souls in general, and why we're here, why we choose to incarnate, and just life, just existence, just everything. I don't know, I just wanted to share some of the wisdom that is in this book and just the beauty of it. So this book is about two people from different walks of life ending up in his office for regressions because they both had an extreme loss in their life and they couldn't move forward no matter how much time passed. For Elizabeth, it was her mother. For Pedro, it was his brother. And Brian helped them explore their past lives. But what he didn't realize was that in one of their past lives, they had the same one. But he couldn't tell them because HIPAA, and he also didn't want to mess with fate. But it troubled him because he knew that they were soulmates, and he knew that the love they have for each other is eternal and forever. And what happened was fate ended up intervening. The thing that I've learned is that you can't mess with destiny. You could sit here and try and make things happen and try and control things, but what's meant to happen will happen, whatever that is. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And that you don't need to. And I just feel like as humans, we don't need to hold so strongly onto the what ifs, or I hope this happens, what if this doesn't happen? Because if it's meant to happen in this life, it's going to happen. You come into this life with karmas that you have to get through, and the ultimate reason why we're here, why we choose to incarnate, why we incarnate, is to love. That is the only reason. It's to keep your heart open, no matter how hard it is. And it's so hard because there's so many outside factors and just things that happen in our life that are beyond our control. There's so many things that happen, and so many things that cause us to close our heart and just become bitter and become so egotistical, and just we harden ourselves, we harden our hearts, and it's sad. But most of us don't have the knowledge on why we're even here. Most of us don't choose to take the time out to go inward and just self-reflect. The biggest spiritual journey you will ever have is going inward. And I don't know, I feel like I've realized this now more than ever. Like, we are here for a reason, and we are here to get through things, and we are here to literally just love and encompass love and be love, because to our core, that's what we are. We are love, and it's so beautiful, and there's just no words to express how beautiful that is. I just want to say, I'm not an expert on life or why we're here. It blows my mind that we're even able to experience what we experience, and it's just so beautiful. And I don't know, just creation and life itself is a blessing. And as human beings, we are so intuitive, and we are able to tap into our intuition so easily if you just allow it, if you just open your mind up to it. And it's not about having certain abilities or being like, oh, I can do this, I can do that, because we're all capable of being able to center ourselves and come from a place of love. Like, that's just how we are as human beings. And so many people, I feel like, get caught up in, oh, I'm psychic, I can predict the future, I can do this, I can do that. But it's like, we're all the same. We all vibrate the same way. I just feel like if you get out in nature and just start connecting with the earth and start spending some time alone and just going out and discovering who you are at your core, past all of this, past all of the things that make you who you are, go deeper, because there's something so much deeper within that's waiting to be discovered. I just feel like it's important for me to share these messages with the world. So you can discover your past lives in so many different ways, through deja vu, through dreams, through past life regression therapy. I think that I have discovered one of my past lives, and I just want to explain some of the things that I'm personally drawn to in life. You could be connected to a past life, like through certain interests that you have. Like, if you're drawn to a certain place, a certain time period. For example, like for me, I was in middle school and I started getting really drawn to like the time period of the 1800s, the Victorian era. For some reason, I just had so many nostalgic feelings about it. Like, I had lived there before, and I thought I was literally crazy. I just didn't understand it. And then I was really drawn for a little bit to the Native American culture. and it fascinated me, and I still listen to a lot of Native American flute music, but like I said, this was back in middle school. I think it was my 8th grade year. I started getting really drawn to wolves and different Native American chanting music, and it just felt like it touched a part of my spirit, as the wind's picking up, which is funny. I just feel like it touched a part of my spirit that nothing else really had before. And then I started just getting really drawn to, I guess you could say, mysticism in a way. I was getting really drawn to the occult and like Wicca, paganism, which I still am. I think it's beautiful, and I think everything is so beautiful. I just felt like there was this deeper part of me that was trying to come out. Like there was this connection I was trying to reach, trying to seek out. It was like this intuitive knowing that there was something beyond what I was seeing in my everyday life. And I felt this way since I was in middle school. I just recently, I think it was right before I moved to where I'm at now, so it's probably, actually I think it was a year ago, I, out of nowhere, had this very vivid dream, which is crazy. I remember all the details. I remember what the house looked like I was in. I was on a farm, and it was in the Victorian era. I was on a farm, and it was definitely like in the 1800s. I was sitting at a window, and I remember the dress I was wearing. I had on black socks that went like up to here. I had this like long dress on, and I was just staring out the window, and I just remember feeling like, why am I here? This is not what I want to be doing. Like, and my mom was trying to marry me off to this man who had a deceased wife, and he had a child, and he was sitting on on a chair in the living room, and she was on another one, and I looked over, and he was looking at me like, I got you, you're not going anywhere. And I just remember feeling so like scared, and like it's gonna sound really dramatic, but I remember feeling like I didn't want to live anymore, like my life was no longer mine. And then I had a flash of a kid, a boy that worked in the stables, and we had a really strong connection. And in my dream, I was kissing him, and it was just like this familiar, like soul, like deep love that I had for this person. I don't remember what else happened from that lifetime, but I woke up and I was like, what the heck? Like, who dreams about that? It was just so random, and it had no correlation to anything I was going through in my life. And it was just weird. And this person that I was in love with in this dream, it was the same type of love I had for somebody else previously. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's just an example of some crazy crap that I've been through with I guess past lives. And I want to go and do a past life regression really bad, like professionally. I'd love to do it with L Weiss, but unfortunately he's not taking any new clients right now because of COVID and everything. And I've been doing a lot of research on figuring out who I can work with that can do a past life regression for me. So if anybody stumbles upon this video and you do them or know somebody, please let me know, because it's something that I really want to do. I feel like as humans, we just have so much healing to do, not only from this incarnation, but from previous ones. Like our souls tend to like carry trauma, and it's so important to heal that trauma, to be able to come from a place of love and understanding and just love, as I'm trying to say. I don't know. I just wanted to share a little bit about my story. And I feel like we're gonna meet souls in life that we have connections with, and we're gonna travel with people, and we have a soul family and a soul group, and it's beautiful. And you're gonna meet people that you have instant soul recognitions with, that you just will intuitively know who they are without really knowing. You might meet them and you're like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I know you, and you're not gonna be like, oh my god, I'm so in love, like right off the bat, I'm sure, but you're gonna have a deep intuitive knowing of, I recognize you. I've felt that way. I feel that way with my mother. Like I know I've been in other lifetimes with my mother, and her and I have such a strong, close connection, and my twin sister as well. Like her and I, when we are together, like, some crazy stuff always happens, especially spiritually, psychically. Like, it's crazy. And I don't know, I feel like it's okay to let go of uncertainty and not knowing what's going to happen, because what is meant to happen will divinely happen. Destiny is at play here. Fate is at play here. We're here to learn. We're here to get through things, and it's okay, and it's beautiful. Trust me, I get it. It's freaking scary. Like, life is freaking scary, and I have my own anxieties and my own fears, and that's normal because we're humans. But everything's okay, and it will be okay, because your soul is infinite, and you're meant to be here. This video is probably all over the place, and if you are still listening, thanks for listening. And let me know in the comments if you've ever had nostalgic feelings about places, if you even know any of your past lives, or what you think you were, or who you were in your past life. Definitely let me know. Also, I wanted to say that we are all on our own journeys in life, and not everybody's journey is the same. It's not going to be the same. We're here for our own reasons, and to learn and to get through certain things, and to just love. And no one's path is the same. No one's spiritual path is the same. It doesn't have to look a certain way, be a certain way. The ultimate spiritual path is the one to the self. And yeah, just want to say that. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to spread love and light to the universe and yourself. Bye.